Look, we're back for another 7 Days to Die. We're gonna keep, like I said, we're gonna keep doing this until we get done with. And see, I actually got the episode right this time. Last time I did it just 3 dies because I was a dummy. But we're gonna keep with this save file until we die once, 1 life, permadeath. We delete it. And then after that, we're actually moving on to the PC version. So we're not gonna be doing it on the PS4 anymore because it actually they're updating it more than they are this. Because they did say that it's harder to update on every system every time, because of course it still is in its alpha testing, but at the same time, like PlayStation and Xbox are always like, well, you got to comply to these rules and these rules, and on Steam on PC it's like, well, okay, yes, I'm not saying it's, they don't care, it's just they allow people to do more stuff, and they don't restrict them as much. So whenever they get it, they've even said when they get it to a good point, they'll send out an update. It's just every time they send out, even if it's the smallest update, it takes like Sony and Microsoft like on maybe. And then if they don't like it because it messes with something, then they're like, no. And then that means once they say no, they would either have to change it on every other system to comply with that one, or not. So after that, we're going to do that because, like I said, they've updated the way everything looks, like textures and buildings and all that stuff. But until then, we're going to keep playing this playthrough until we die, because that's the whole point of the whole 1 life permadeath kind of playthrough idea. And if you haven't seen the other ones, then the added I don't really want to call it a bonus, but the added thing we did was no supply drops. Whatever we find is whatever we find. That torch didn't look right. Trying to light up our house, and this way at night we can kind of find it better, because sometimes it does get cloudy-ish. Also, like when certain nights when it's storming outside or anything like that, it can mess it up. There's a dead body in the spikes, but at the same time, it just makes it easier also to see. So if we had to go outside because there was a zombie beating through the wall, and we need to go take care of it so he doesn't get into our house, start destroying everything, we need to be able to see him outside. Even if we're going on the roof, which we can do. If you remember from the bedroom, we have a ladder up there, we can go on the roof. Even then, I need to be able to see to shoot them with the bow. So at some point, we're actually probably going to have to put like blocks out there with torches up, like 3 or 4 blocks high with torches around them, like a little light post kind of idea, just so we know, like, we can see stuff. And that's a good way also for me to mark houses. That's a house that I'm using as a base. I know it's right by my house, but it's good to have like an outpost kind of thing, because what if I have to leave my house? There's spikes in front of the door. That's good. I can crouch in, sneak around, get the zombies, and it's a building I can run upstairs. And if I really needed to, I could also get on the roof. What I need to do in that house is surround it with hay bales. So worst case scenario, if I start getting attacked all around and I run upstairs and they follow me, of course, I could try to shoot down the stairs. I could throw spikes right there at the stairs. But worst case is I can jump off and land on the hay bales and run like a crazy person. But every so often, you should set up like an outpost, a place where you can go in. It can kind of be sort of protected, fortified. You can drop off items if you know you're not going to make it back home, or if you want to go back out and keep looting. That'd be another thing. If we go far enough and we want to keep going, but we don't want to just run back home and to drop off random stuff yet. Maybe we have enough food to survive. We can keep going, but may have the outpost to bring it back to. And then basically you hop from outpost to outpost is what you do. So you'd be like, oh look, like I know there's a bookstore down the road. That's my next one. It's a straight shot. I can stay on the road, which means it's kind of easy to keep track at night, because as long as the hill is on this one side and I'm heading this direction, then I know where it's at. Now, it's big. It's actually made out of concrete, so it's going to take them a while to get there. There are 2 doors in the front, 1 in the back. Same concept. I can put spikes in front of the doors, so They will try to get through the door just because, I mean, it's not the fact that they're smart. They're pretty dumb. But it's the idea of even stupid creatures can be like, oh, there's a doorway and there's a wall. Yeah, even in like normal stuff in nature, a creature is going to be like, wall opening. So it's just basic things they're going to do. They're going to try to get to the door because they can. Plus, if they can see you, like what I like doing is if there's spikes outside, I'll open the door up so they can see me. Yeah, they don't care about the spike. They're going to try to get to me, and I can just beat them with a club. But same concept goes inside, like the house. I don't keep spikes in front of the door because I want to get inside. But I'll put them in the doorway. Like on a horde night, my front door, I'm probably going to cover my porch in spikes. And then inside my front door, I'm going to put one directly in front of it because you can stand on the square beside it and like reach the door and let them in. And as they come in and hit that, you can just kind of stand there at an angle. So they can't quite reach you because of the way you're positioned. And if it gets crazy, like you let them in, you shut the door. That way you let one in at a time. So yeah, they'd have to get through all that to get to me. So they're going to try to hang that over there. Not on the door. Hang it. Because see, if I see torches, I'll know which one's an outpost. Because like if I find a big group of houses, then there's a... I guess it's not going to let me. Nope, they're floating. So for some reason, there's a block in the way blocking blocks off, and it's not letting me place them where I want them. I'm getting hit by something. But at the same time, it lets me, you know, set everything up that way. But yes, in a group of houses, I can also be like, oh, hey, look. This was my outpost. So I can loot all the houses and get myself set up for that. Hey, look. A hunting rifle schematic. So we can learn how to put it together, take it apart, and you get +1 gunsmith. That's the other cool thing. Is with the books, I want to say on the PC, they actually have like levels of books. Like you can find it and learn the skill. But what I've been told is it's like how the steelsmithing perk works. Don't use a club on the door, it ain't gonna work. Like how on the steelsmithing one, you get it and then you learn one thing. You get it again and you learn a new thing to craft. You get it a third time, you learn something new. I believe they said that there's actually books like that. Like there's certain skills you cannot learn, you cannot spend points on. They're there so you can see what you know. So you can be like, okay, what can I make? And then you can also plan, like, what's the next thing you're going to be able to make? I believe that they do stuff like that. You know, like, plus, it's going to be so much crazier. But, I mean, I'm not going to just run outside and purposely die just so I can be like, let's go play on the PC. Yeah. No, I'm just going to actually be like, okay, I want to see how long I can survive. That would actually be cool. Not, oh, look, we're retarded. Especially because, like I said, I built my house, so I want to see how long would my house survive in a zombie apocalypse. Because I live right in front of a road. You know, most people live in front of a road. I don't know why I would just put it that way, but I mean, it's pretty popular around here. There's like how there's buildings over there. Yeah. So I want to know how long would it actually last through all that. And these couches give you leather and wood. See? There we go. And money. And see, this is another useful area here. Like, not only is this good for an outpost, but if you find a building like this in your playthrough, it's good defensible. Like, look, see these counters? The zombie can't get to you until they get past the counter. So they make it through your defenses, your first wave of whatever you got set up, craziness. You could just run back and hop over that thing and be good. Pretty much just be like, alright, cool, I'm behind the counter. Yeah, he's going to be playing this up-down game trying to get over it. And I wouldn't recommend trying to shoot him because they can drop as the arrow goes by or whatever. But you could always get your club out while they're playing dum-dum up here, up and down, and hit them. At some point, they're going to make it on the counter and then make it off the counter. But, who was that? Hunting knife. Ooh, we can stop making bone knives once we get the steel we need. I mean, the iron we need from a forge. Which I'm still waiting on to make. But it's okay. We almost got enough components. We actually just need enough, I believe, actual leather. Most things give us cloth. We're getting paper like crazy. But, see, by the time they get over the thing, you could jump over the other side of the counter. And then they have to play, see, they have to play the same game again. They have to follow you. You could run back here. You could actually run. There's so many different hallways and paths. What's that? We learn how to make something else. Leather leg armor. And your skills go up when you read a book. See? Leatherworking. So this also helps you level up. Like early game, if you could find one of these places. Look, we just found another book. SMG schematic. Now we know how to take one apart, put one together, so we can actually repair the pieces and stuff. And I believe you have to know how to do that to make the ammo. So, yeah. Well, see, look, what's that? The same thing. But it's okay, because look. Boom. We get a skill up. The only time it would not be required to really read a book to get the skill is if your skill's maxed out. But even then, I mean, if you scrap them, all you get is paper. I know, I've made that mistake once and been like, whoopsie daisy, and got a bunch of paper like, wow, that was dumb. But, yeah, like I said, this would be a good place if you found a building like this early game. If you haven't, you could go check out one of our last playthroughs. The last time before we died, we found a hardware store. That was awesome. I was actually working on trying to get a hole to the roof, which we eventually did, and that's where we built our house. So if they actually made it into the building, I could run up to the ceiling and hide up there. And I'd made stairs, so there was one way up there, but I didn't take the ladder off, so I could still get down. What's that? Hunting rifle again. So what does that mean? Gunsmithing goes up again. So we get more and more and more and more skills. And we got a lot of paper. Yeah, we're maxed out on paper. 250. I have no room. I'm not worried about bringing it with me just yet. Yes, it can be used to make, what is it? The blunderbuss. What is that? You've unlocked iron leg armor. See, look. And more paper. And more paper. But hey, our armor smithing goes up. Which is good. Because think about it. When you first make that first item, you get so... we got leather from these chairs. Not cloth. We might actually be able to make what we need. The billows. That's the only thing I believe we're missing. We have everything else. But if we actually get the stuff, we can actually start making stuff. Yeah. The skills, you get the first time you make something, you get triple the experience. So usually that's why if you notice early game when you're like, I'm going to make this, level up. I'm going to make this, level. Like the first time you make a fire axe, early game, it's like, wow, yeah, we don't need those. We can make glass when we get the forge going, so we can just scrap those. See, I'm saying we could just be like, pfft. So, the more books I'm reading and leveling up my armor smithing and gunsmithing before I even start actually making them, means the first thing I make is going to actually start off with a pretty decent durability, because that's actually what factors into it, is what level the skill is at. That's why usually early game, that first fire axe you make is not good. It don't last long. It gets destroyed pretty dang quick. I mean, it does a lot of damage, but I mean, even with this, I've made a bunch of these. My weapon thing, tool, whatever, is pretty high. But it's still, I still have to edit it out, because if not, you're watching me sit there for 5 minutes just banging on a door with a rock that's pretty much tied to a stick. And see, busting those boxes would do me no good, because it drops paper on the ground. Let's see, I'm just going to come back later and deal with that. I was going to do it, but I have a full inventory, and in there is a desk. There's usually a desk and a like a little safe. See, I like doing that, because zombies aren't smart always to walk a straight line. So what are they going to do? They're going to sway side to side. Or if they're coming from the side, I can stand in the middle there. And if I was stuck there and it happened to be a big horde of them, you throw. I try to keep spikes on my little tool belt, so if I needed to, I could run in there, turn around, and drop a spike in front of the door. So even if they made it around the corner, they're still in there. We're hungry. Our legs messed up, and we're still carrying food that they can smell. See how far this would take? Like if there was too many zombies right there, we could duck into that one building and actually be okay for like the night. I didn't see anything, so I continued running down over here to our house so we could finish doing other stuff to set up things. Doesn't want to cooperate with me. The grass shouldn't be an issue. There we go. Yeah, see, I don't like doing stuff like that, but see, like I can go, all that iron I just got from like taking stuff apart, all those cans, we could fix these things up, see? And yes, technically it is nighttime, but first off, I don't hear any zombies, so I'm trying to repair these before they get busted. Too bad and break completely, which uses up more iron. But all that right there in the front of the house is going to be surrounded. In the front right there is going to be surrounded by spikes. I don't want to put them around the side of my house. I actually want to put hay around the house first, because if I have to jump off the roof of my house, I don't want to land on a wooden spike. I'd want to rather land on hay, and then I'm going to put spikes out there, because if I do that, I could jump. I'm already at the same height. I'm actually a block higher. See, this is going to be for our forge items. Because, and there it is. We did it. I didn't want you to have to sit there and watch me make the billows, get the items from the other chest, walk back over here, start waiting for the forge to make, and then actually pretty much be like, so I fixed it. But yes, if we jump down the height, we're at the same height, we can jump over. A zombie's not going to do it. They're going to fall down like an idiot, and they're going to walk off the edge into the spikes. So I could run back around to my front or my back door and run back in the house while they're being retarded and dying. So it actually works out for me. Also, everybody knows when the cop zombie explodes, they do damage to everything except dirt. If it's on the other side of dirt, it's fine. Like literally, the blast radius, as soon as it touches dirt, is nullified. So the ground underneath it is fine. The last playthrough I did, when I got to like day 100 and something, they were everywhere, and they would hit the spikes, but they would blow up. So it means they blow up the spikes, but the spikes were right by my wall, so they'd blow the wall up, and then they would blow up the items on the other side of the wall against the wall. So that means they told me they went a few blocks in. So if I build the wall, the hay, and the spike, when they hit the spike and blow up, they'll blow up the hay and the wall, and hopefully not blow up the item beside it. Also, my refrigerator is actually going to be further into my kitchen, so if they do manage to blow up and tear off half of my kitchen, it won't take the refrigerator and all the food with it. Because yeah, if it gets blown up, everything in it goes bye-bye. Or at least mine did. So it means it must have been a big enough explosion. But yeah, see, we need to make the first tool there's 3 tools you can put with the forge. It's like a die kit, there's like these caliper looking prong thingamajiggers, and there's an anvil. You can actually use the forge itself to make the anvil. It just takes a lot of iron, which is what we waited for it to do, because it's the middle of the night anyways, so I'm not going to go outside and mess with zombies. Now while that's doing that, we put the raw iron in the clay, because you need clay to make everything. So see, while it's going through, we need 20 iron to start making our fire axe and our pickaxe and stuff like that, and our actual good shovels. So, yeah, see, we don't need all that anymore. Now we can actually go through and be like, oh look, we're actually going to have good tools. We'll be able to travel further without having to be a fear of, it's not going to be like Minecraft where it's like I better have like 5 of these tools because they're going to break. See, it takes 5 clay and iron. We can actually go and make all this other stuff. And see, that is what I want to make right there. There we go. It's going to take forever, so I went ahead and just waited it through and skipped it for you guys so you didn't have to watch, sit here and go. Now remember all the things we got for the gunsmithing? So see, the blunderbuss actually started off with 150 durability. It would have started off a lot less if we actually wouldn't have read those books, which is good. Now we have our first actual iron tool queued up, so we can actually start working on that as well. Which the iron tools will be better. Because yes, with the little stone axe you make at the beginning, you can chop down a tree, it takes a while. You can, yeah, see exactly. You can bust up a rock. It takes a while. You can also throw down something for a house, and you can use it to fix or upgrade and fix. I mean, if we had cobblestone, we could use it to upgrade it, but it takes like 4 swings. But once you start doing this, you can actually get the better tools. You have the fire axe, works best on a tree or chopping down a wooden door, and then we have a whole other slot now we're gonna have to use for a pickaxe. But busting through rocks is faster, and you collect more resources, and those metal doors will, like the one we were showing you earlier, we're actually about to just bust that a lot quicker. And these are actually mining tools. The pickaxe and the shovel is. That's a whole nother skill now we can level up, which actually means as we get points into it, we can learn the skill Miner 69er, which each point into that increases the damage you do to the blocks of the category. So your pickaxe and your shovel will do more damage while you're mining, which is great. That when you're hitting that rock, you can just be like, bam, bam, busted it. I got all this iron, yeah. And then boom, boom, I busted that up. I mean, once your mining skill gets to 100 and you've got all 5 points of Miner 69, I'm pretty sure at some point you're going to have like, plus it also depends on the level of your pickaxe. I'm pretty soon at one point you're just like, bam, I did it. Bam, I broke it. And we actually have a better weapon now. Because yes, technically, we had a pistol. We were keeping like just in case emergencies because we had a few rounds. Blunderbuss isn't going to be any quieter. It's going to be loud as crap. Because it's pretty much just gunpowder and an explosion. But now we can make the ammo for it. And remember, all that is it's one thing of gunpowder, one thing of paper, and a stone. Because that's, I mean, you're putting the gunpowder in there. You're packing down the paper, and then you put stone on it because it creates the compacted thing. So when it blows up, it just shoots. Basically, you're shooting a rock at it. I mean, they used to have metal bullets, which that would be a cool thing they could do. I know, yeah, early game blunderbuss, but like how you can have different arrows. You know, you can make the iron arrows and all these other, like the flaming arrow. What if you could actually, when you got the forge, because you can make arrowheads. See, watch. Bam, I mean, it took a chunk. I still had to edit it because it takes a while for this, but this way I'm leveling up this specific tool skill. Now, what if they had it to where you could actually make metal actual ammo for the blunderbuss? Like you had the regular blunderbuss ammo, just like when you have arrows, or just arrows. Then you had iron arrows. What if you could make iron blunderbuss ammo, and then steel blunderbuss ammo? Because that way, just boom, one shot. That would actually be pretty cool. Yeah, I know, like I said, you know, you're going to find other guns later on, but some people use a bow for a while. It's its own skill, so therefore it levels up, not off everything else. So early game, you're using a bow and arrow, and when you first get other weapons, that skill's already pretty high. Plus, you can make flaming arrows. So that's pretty helpful when your Horde Night comes, you're just like, it's a zombie. No! And you light him on fire, and now you can see the zombie in the dark because he's on fire, and now he's pretty much taking fire damage every round. That's pretty cool. And pretty helpful. Or, you know, you happen to have a flaming barrel. Not flaming barrel, you can make big gas barrels. I mean, I don't recommend wasting all that gas, but you can have it out there like a, just in case emergency, and just shoot that bad boy, your flaming arrow, and boom. I don't know if it has to be a flaming arrow. No, it doesn't. Because I've made a mistake on a playthrough once and hit it with a pickaxe. I was just like, la 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 la, I'm breaking up the metal frame, and it was like, and I died. So I think you just have to hit it with something metal and like makes a spark, basically. Which is the next thing we're going to do at our house. We need to start, when we get completely surrounded with spikes, because if you notice, every time we come back, we're adding spikes to our little thing. Until it gets to day 6. Day 6 will just be pure, get ready for Horde Night. Because it's actually on the 7th night that a Horde shows up. But I'd rather be over-prepared. Because if I make an entire square around my property of spikes, I want to get the metal and go back and make the actual metal squares you can make. And you can actually put them on the outside of your house. Which is awesome. Because if you do that, it covers it up. So they have to actually break that before they break the wood underneath. It's helpful. I mean, what else am I going to do with the iron? If I've made iron spikes all around my house.
Can they jump?
They're not jump, but if there's a block, like one block in front of them, they can pretty much do like what they do in Minecraft. They'll walk up to that block, and then they could go up onto the block and down, but like that hay block. But here, zombies are stupid, so they're gonna go up to that block and go up, down, up, down, up, down. They're gonna try until they figure it out and get up on the block, and then they're gonna be like, oh, I got up here, and then they're gonna walk off the edge of it and be like, yay. So it slows them down. But I believe when they're doing that, whatever's in front of them is taking damage because they're basically just
They're dumb.
they're being retarded. They're being zombies. Now, unlike Minecraft, they can destroy stuff in here, you know. So yeah.
Actually, the zombies can destroy doors.
But see, like how I have this set up. If I go on my roof, now what I could do is I can actually have zombies chasing me, in the sense, into the house. And I could run into the room and go up a ladder on the roof and shoot down. But also, for some weird reason, let's say there's a bunch of cop zombies and they're spitting their junk at me. Or you have the spider ones that are climbing up stuff, or if so many zombies start piling up, eventually something can actually run up the wall. It gets weird. Or some other weird, there's all sorts of ways they can get up. I've seen them run up, somehow get on your roof. Either way, it's a uh-oh scenario. I can run off onto this hay and just be like, I'm okay, and then take off running. I need to actually put spikes on the outside of this also, so that way if I do have to jump in here, I can jump over the spikes and the zombies will just be like, I'm retarded. Because they are. Now see, we have a little area. You notice how we fertilized it? We can actually start planting food, which would be good because then with that we can actually cook it and start making a sustainable resource, you know, because corn you can break down into seeds. If you grow a corn, you get one. If you just use the hoe and till it, you get 3. And since I put fertilizer, you get 5. That's awesome because you only need 1 corn to make seeds. You got 4 left over. You can cook them on the fire and just make simple, like, just corn. Like, you can just grill it. Same with potato. You don't need water. It's just on the thing. Now you can use water and, like, I think it bakes them or whatever, and I believe you probably get more fullness from it. But until I get enough glass to make extra jars, I don't want to be wasting my water. Now if I find water, yeah, whatever. As long as I can keep my 15 jars, I'm okay. Out of that stack, I will not cook with. That's my 15 to use, refill, and then reuse. But yucca is also helpful because 4 yucca fruit, oh yeah, hang on. 4 yucca fruit, you can actually turn around and make yucca juice, which not only restores your water, your hydration, but it gives you the cooling effect, and it gives you like 0.1 wellness, so eventually your wellness does go up. But you also do like a cooling thing, so that way if I'm in like a hot area, I can just be like, it's like a bunch of menthol. Or like when you put Vicks on your chest, you're just like. But don't forget, guys, if you did like, don't forget to thumbs up this video. Definitely go look right down there, hit that subscribe button. It's actually over there. I don't know why I put it down. And share the video. Anyone you know is like watching 7 Days to Die or playing the game, let them know. We have all sorts of goofy fun. Thanks, guys.